All right, so today we're talking about coding, and just to start us off, let's get into our blueprints, open level blueprints, so that you'll find that under blueprints again. And I'm just going to delete these guys for now. Oh, it's like I was simulating. Okay, so I do have a little bit of code right here. And the first thing that you'll see is this red block, and those are our events. And events mean something happens, and this is going to start the function. And the function is all of the code after the event. And you'll notice some of these have an F on them. That means that they're pre-built functions that Unreal gave us. We don't have to code what happens. The set of code is done in C++ coding language, so you can actually go in and adjust that if you want to, but it's not. This is a visual coding right here. This is called blueprints, and it's the same thing as coding, typing in the code, but it's just done visually. So it's easier to pick up for people who haven't learned the coding language. So this is our event. This is our function, all the stuff that happens after the event. And then let's say that, oh yeah, this is our branch, which means it's checking a condition. So when this rock right here hits something, it checks to see what it hits. And if that person is not called first person character C1, which is the name of our character, just by chance, then it's not going to destroy the actor that it hits. But if it is, it's going to get the player and destroy it and then restart the level. So this is how this works when I hit play. Oops. If I am going to go here and I get hit by this rock, it'll destroy me and then restart the level. And you can actually see this happen. Oops. If you set here your debug object to first person example map, and then I zoom out and you can kind of look at my code, watch what happens when I hit this rock. That red line occurs, and you can see that all the code occurs after a delay. It finishes off here. Now, if the rock hits something else, like the ground, you'll notice this false thing. Well, I don't even know if it'll show anything, but it won't go to the next part of code. So if I just trigger this rock and then step back so I don't get hit, the code does not destroy me. But as soon as I touch this rock, the code continues and it restarts the level. So as far as how to make variables, we talked about variables. So you go over here and you hit this little variable button, and then there's the different types. You have Boolean, integer, float, string, vector, and rotator. Those are the ones that we kind of talked about. The transform is just like a vector and rotator, except for it's for size, for scale, making something change size. Okay, so let's just do a quick event. And that event is going to be triggered by a trigger box. So we call this box trigger. We're going to pull one into our level. I happen to put a little cone there just to say, okay, I know that I got to be touching that cone for this to work, just so I have a reference point. But you can put it on something that you know, like in the door frame or something like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have this trigger box trigger an event. So we're going to right click, add an event on actor, begin overlap. And that event, there's a lot of things we could do, but let's just say that something easy to see is we will print a string, which is a type of variable. So let's add a variable. We'll create a string, and we'll call this variable I am inside the box. Nope, that's not going to work because I can't have any spaces. Let's just say in the box and compile, and then I'm going to type in the value. I am in the box. Exclamation point. And then we'll just take this string, get it, and touch those pins. So when I hit that box, it'll print that variable. And you can see on the top left, I am in the box. Let's say that you leave the box. So we're going to right click, we're going to add an event when the actor ends overlap. And what we'll do is we'll say, let's change this variable. So we're going to drag in the box out. We're going to set it to something else. Set it to I am not in the box. And then we'll just have it print this. Let's compile. And watch what happens. It says now I am in the box. I'm not in the box. The only thing is now if you go back in, it's going to keep saying I am not in the box because we have changed this variable, this string, to say this forever. So what I'm going to need to do is I'll just copy and paste this set. And we'll change this so that and that kind of can go in between the two. I am in the box. It will change it back when you go back in. You'll set it to this. And then this is checking. So you can either set a variable, change it, or check it to see what it is. So let's try that. I'm in the box. I'm not in the box. I'm in the box. I'm not in the box. And then let's take all this code right here. Just make it nice and pretty. Get everything lined up. Then we'll put a box around all this. And then to select it, we'll right click, create a comment, and just say, am I in the box? And then, sorry, that might have been a little too fast. I just right clicked, create a comment, and then on this, I want to just change it. Am I in the box? And this is going to allow you, when you have a whole bunch of code on your level, it's going to tell you exactly what it is. So this one is to set my fog density, so I should probably clean it up a little bit, but as much as possible, just keep everything looking nice, because as you start to add more and more code, it does become a little bit difficult to kind of suss out what you're doing if it's all over the place. So I'll just put a comment around this. And this is my fog. What this does is it turns the fog down when I go inside. So right now the fog is up, but I found it was too hazy inside my house. So I set a box trigger here that just turns the fog down when I go inside. And then turns it back on when I go outside. So you can see. There it is. So I'm in the box. I'm not in the box. All right, that's it for today.